This is the Presto Tilt-N-Fold griddle. The reason it's called Tilt-N-Fold is because it does have these legs which allow it to tilt forward and go into the strip tray, and it does fold up to lay flat and to be able to put in the cabinets. We're going to be making this breakfast for the kids and this breakfast for me and my wife using these egg rings, which are right at 4 inches. And then we're going to use this grill press for the meat, so that this way it pushes it flat and it helps retain the heat on top to cook evenly. And then we're going to be using this grill cover to go ahead and steam everything in and keep all the juices and stuff inside. These are commercial grade, by the way, and they are by Homenote. Egg rings, I can't really pronounce the name, but all the links are in the description if you want to get them for yourself. I will make a small commission though, so let's get to the cooking. So we're going to go ahead and get the kids' eggs going. I made some pancake batter. Even though they're having waffles, we're going to have pancakes. And I have sausage over here so we can use the meat press. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the cheese to the size of the rings, so when the kids get their eggies, they fit right down in there. And don't take long to preheat either. I can already feel the heat. Probably going to start melting this cheese. It's sticking to my fingers already. One of the features of it is this lift right here. You just knock these down and lift so it'll drain off. I don't have the thing on it because I did not realize that I couldn't stick it in the dishwasher. So if you guys do buy one of these, then be warned, don't stick that in the dishwasher. It was actually pretty funny because my wife's like, why you gotta stick everything in the dishwasher? Not everything's dishwasher safe. Yeah, I figured that out. Ah, cheese is stuck. See? Don't take long at all to preheat. So I'm gonna real quick hit this with spray. I like to brush margarine on it or real butter, but I don't know where my brush is. And for them rings, they have to be, they're better if they're sprayed. Now the kids' sausage patties are pretty much cooked, and I thawed them out in the microwave anyway, so they won't take long. But this does still help. You can hear it sizzle. That's the perfect ladle size to make the silver dollar pancakes. I don't think I've used that one in there before. These are actually pretty decent with being non-stick if you spray them right, but you have to watch. Sometimes they'll tear it, and especially when you're making the pancakes, they'll stick to the edge, and if you put too much in, they overflow and then you can't break them free. So when it comes to these, you just gotta really judge whether or not it's gonna release. I've actually, say these are releasing pretty decent. When I release them, I will actually flip these over so they don't overcook on one side. Let the rings get them the shape, and then I can flip it back over. And if you have your rings come off, that little piece will just push in. They'll come off sometimes. Don't worry about it, they go right back. I've done it before. But it don't take long. I usually leave mine set at that right there. I mean, you have to adjust it every once in a while and stuff, but for the most part, I can just leave it set and it cooks anything. And then because I cut them to shape using the egg cutters, you get the perfect little cheese. My daughter actually likes her eggs like mine, which we'll cook in a minute, and using that to make sure they don't overcook. See, that meat press helps push the juices out for one, but number two, it traps the heat in. So the other side, and I'll probably go ahead and use this same griddle and make a chicken. I used to make a nice smothered chicken with it, real thin chicken breast. We have some already in the freezer that are seasoned. And I'll go ahead and we'll do that. I might actually do that, make some smothered chicken or chicken sandwiches or something with this thing one day. That's that part. And then these will be done, and we'll use this for our sausage. And Eggies. So we're going to use that same meat press to get these cooked. And we'll go ahead and put our pancakes on. Now, the waffles that I made for the kids were on last week's video where I made waffles and a bunch of other stuff with the waffle maker. So if you haven't seen that video, at the end of this one I'll have it on the end screen card. So make sure you check that one out. There we go, that's a lot better than the first one. I like measuring it with this. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take that off because that's had enough heat. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pull these and let these sit for a minute and then check to make sure they're done. Because these tend to get burnt by the time they're done. That's why I put them in the microwave and had the thing on them. Alright, well here's where it usually makes it or breaks it, because I'm very picky with my eggs. My wife isn't so picky, my daughter's as picky as I am, and she's actually upset with me right now for the way that I made the eggs in the rings, because they weren't done like I'm about to show you. This is why the cover is so good, because I can take the cover and move my wife's eggs over. And a lot of people have a problem getting this. I don't understand why. Now, I've been doing this since I worked in diners and restaurants. But you just take the cover and you put a splash of water in, or ice. You can take ice too, but I don't have any. We used to use ice at the diner. But you throw a couple of cubes of ice in there, it steams it. They come out glazed on top, still yolks running, not chewy whites. And that's why I love having this. When I'm going to make the smothered chicken video for you guys. When I make it, the whole point of having this cover is to increase the heat. It's got a seal around it if you see, and that increases the heat and it allows it to not escape, which it steams it. And that also helps keep it from getting tough. Water doesn't work as well as ice because ice sits there longer, but a couple of it's going to take a little bit more because it's not. But you can see how hot the cover's getting. Part of the reason that it's not working right is because I got to move her eggs to put this down there. As you can see, it's escaping. That'll work. Well, see, that's what I was talking about right there. Overdone. Alright, well I know eggs are expensive, but we're going to try this again, because like I said, I'm too picky. Now you do have to be careful doing the cover with water over it, because if you do it too early, it's just going to become a big, weak mess. If you do it too late, you're going to over-steam it and it's going to be rough. Alright, that looks like it's about ready. Now we got a better seal this time, so it shouldn't go wrong. And I got the kids settled, so I shouldn't get distracted. Throw these back under there to warm them up. Almost forgot to put my salt back on. And then you put that on there and let it melt for a second. Alright, well there's the breakfast. Like I said, if you want to get any of this stuff, there's links in the description below and we'll make a small commission. I will be making that smothered chicken video, so go ahead and keep an eye out for that. And if you haven't seen last week's video for the waffle maker, it's on your screen right now, so click there. See you next time.